All Elite Wrestling makes their way to Worcester on Wednesday night for an event at the DCU Center. Now I'm joined by a very special guest from All Elite Wrestling. It's the one and only Mercedes Moné. Mercedes, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to be back in the Boston area in Worcester.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are a Boston native. Tell us how excited you are for this event on Wednesday in Worcester and what you'll be doing at the event.
Well, I'm going to be making a special an appearance, just like the CEO always does. But AEW Alite is making its way back to Worcester, and I'm super excited because we were just in Boston about 3 weeks ago. So I can't wait for my friends and my family to be back around me and to be in the energy again. So I want to make sure that everybody in the Boston area comes out. Make sure you go to aewtix.com for more information, or you can go to ticketmaster.com to get your tickets now.
I want to go back to that event at TD Garden a couple weeks ago where you made your AEW debut, and the fans were so thrilled to see you. They were chanting the CEO, CEO. What was that
Yeah.
whole moment like for you?
Uh, it was unbelievable and almost kind of undescribable because I've been away from American wrestling for almost 2 years. And for people just to kind of speculate that it was going to be me making her big debut at Big Business, it was just speculation. It wasn't really like announced that I was going to be there. It was unbelievable. I had all my friends and family there. I had fans from all over the world fly in just to be there for that special moment. And when I came out and made my debut, it was such an eruption and such an energy that you just had to be there, just like everybody has to be there in Worcester this Wednesday. It's an undescribable feeling.
I want to go back to that girl that grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, that dreamed of doing all the things that you've done in your wrestling career. What do you think that girl would say about the woman you are now and all the things that you have accomplished?
Um, First, excuse my dogs. I don't know who they're barking at. Um, that little girl would be like, wow, I am so proud of you. I not only can't believe you did that, but I am so proud that you did that. I went to North Andover at a place called Chaotic Wrestling to begin my wrestling training. And to see that little girl at 90 pounds and make her way through this whole wrestling world and become a world champion, become a star in Star Wars, to become an AEW superstar, the CEO, a leader of a global revolution. I am nothing but proud of that little girl. And I keep on saying, just keep on going. We got to keep on going to the moon and more.
And you've already been a part of so many historic events from the women's wrestling standpoint. You think about WrestleMania 37, where you made history as one of the first Black
Yeah.
women to headline WrestleMania, to the present. And now you see this sport, this women's wrestling sport, and how much it's grown. What has it been like to be one of the catalysts of that growth?
Uh, it's everything I've been working for. It's everything that I'm not giving up for. There's just so much more that women can do in the sport, and I feel like, especially in professional wrestling, women are making their name and their statement in this sport. We are doing unbelievable things by headlining major pay-per-views and TV networks, and just being the biggest stars in professional wrestling. And I think here in AEW, we are going to make this even more global and make this women's revolution globalized because we can do so much more here. So it's just been so incredible to be a part of it and to be one of the leaders of it.
Tell us what you're most excited about as part of being a part of AEW.
I'm looking forward to just so many new challenges, so many new opponents, so many new opportunity. But when I've been watching AEW for months, I've just been watching the girls like, wow, I cannot wait to throw it down with some of these girls. We have the best roster in the whole world. So I'm just looking forward to throwing it down with all of them.
And from the wrestling standpoint, you're a champion many times over, many times over. How much does that feeling of being a champion drive you to get to that point again?
Oh, it's everything. You know, I'm all about the bling, whether it's on my neck, on my rings, on my fingers, but I really love it around my waist and my shoulders. So all those girls better be, holding on to that championship really, really tight, because once I'm ready to choose who I want to go after first, they better be careful about their money.
Yeah, they're gonna have to look out for you, and then we were looking forward to seeing that championship belt around you soon. And you're working your way back from an injury too. You've detailed this on your social media accounts. You had an ankle injury a little over 10 months ago,
Yep.
and you've been making your way back. How much sweeter do you think it'll be to be back out there, considering you've had to deal with this?
It's just gonna make everything just so much more special. I thought wrestling was going to be taken away from me 10 months ago when this has been my dream since I was 10 years old. So I am looking so forward to getting back into the ring and doing exactly what I love. And I can't wait to show everybody who Mercedes Moné is, because I was born to be a wrestler. I was born to do this. And there's no quit in me. When the doctor told me that this was a career ending injury, I was like, absolutely not, because this is my life and this is my life passion. So when you have a dream, when you have to go after something, you cannot let anybody hold you back, or you can't take no for an answer. So I am so ready to go. So ready to be All Elite, because All Elite is just the best wrestling company in the whole world. And I can't wait to throw it down with not only the women here in AEW, but all over the women all over the world.
The name you're using in the ring, and it comes off your tongue way better than mine. So I'm going to try to say it like you, Mercedes Moné.
There you go.
But it's a new stage name for you, or at least it's one you've been using recently. And of course, Mercedes, your first name, Moné, is different than what you've gone with in the past. But yes, I love the hands, what you're doing with the hands there. Tell us how you came up with this new name.
Well, I went from being a boss to leveling up and getting promotion to becoming a CEO. And I really was looking around like, what do I want in my life? What have I not been receiving at the highest level? And that is money. And that's exactly who I wanted to be in it. If you want something, you have to own it. You have to have the affirmation. You have to say it every single day. And I am all about the money. So I am Mercedes Moné, making that money every single day, because money changes everything. And I'm no longer a boss, I'm a CEO now. So it's so much better and so much more awesome when you can be the highest level that you want to be.
And I'm not sure what you can't do at this point, because obviously you're an all-world wrestler. You mentioned the acting as well. You've started the Mandalorian Disney Plus series. And then on top of that, you keep saying the CEO. Well, that's a new song that you just put out as well.
Thank you.
I have one question off that, because your cousin is Snoop Dogg. How much input did he give you about now this next foray into music?
I mean, I did my first ever song with him in the studio. So he gave me all the courage in the world to let me know that I can be a rapper. But I did this song with my cousin Rocco, and my whole family background has a musician background, or is in music. So just naturally it came to me, and I just knew one day I wanted to do rapping. And when I wanted to come back to wrestling, I wanted to make a big statement and make people hear the first thing. It's going to be me. It's going to be something larger than life. It's going to be CEO. And right when I come out, the fans are up on their feet. They're chanting CEO. So they get the statement, they get the mission, and they should be looking forward to so much more music. But they can stream CEO right now, available everywhere.
And finally, before we let you go here, Mercedes, Boston as a city and Massachusetts as a state, it is fantastic for wrestling entertainment. I've talked to so many people, my colleagues. I was sharing before we hopped on how thrilled they are that I'm chatting with you, but there's so many people in this area that are in love with wrestling. What do you think it is about this region that makes it such a hotbed for wrestling entertainment?
I mean, the New England area has always been a big statement for professional wrestling. The Killer Kowalskis really took over that area back in the day. And I just feel like when it comes to sports in general, Boston, there's no other fans like the Boston fans when it comes to sports. So when it comes to wrestling, they just throw it up even more. Like the notch is just so much more higher, and there's just such more of a passion here. So when you're in the New England area, whenever there's sports around, but especially AEW, you got to come on out.
Well, and they can come on out Wednesday night in Worcester at the DCU Center, and Mercedes Moné will be there. Mercedes, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'll see you this Wednesday.